Hey, what's going on, after show audience? This is your boy Ken. We're back with another one today. Got the usual suspects, Mr. Complexity,
Hello, hello.
and we got Mr. Left-Handed Devil himself, Mr. Zephyrs.
Gonna become a
So,
thing.
no, it really will become a thing. So, basically, we're at a interesting crossroads right now. Not even in the land of Locale Live. I'm gonna say in the land of Keemstar, because as people know from last year on the side scrollers, from even the inception of Locale Live, DSP was supposed to be on the show, and there was an offer of $50,000 to the three Boogie Wings and DSP. We can go into all that because everyone knows that by now. But apparently, there's going to be a situation where Keemstar is going to be going on DSP's Level 1 podcast. Now, the way we got here was DSP put a video out about the whole Kino Casino and all that, and going on there and kind of his king moniker coming back, if you will. And, you know, DSP's ego is inflated and everything at this point. And then Keemstar put out a video basically shitting on him for it. What we're about to watch now happened on a Locale Live the other night. And Keem is basically apologizing for this. Keem is a little drunk. He's level 1 drunk, as he says in the video. So I don't think Kmplxity's watched this. And Zeph, have you seen this yet?
Clips here and there, not really much.
Beautiful. Cool. Well, if you will go ahead and start playing it, we can go ahead and see what Keem has to say.
All right.
Full transparency, I haven't seen the real thing. I haven't seen the full thing, excuse me. So we're going to watch it in real time. Let's
Keem's
see here.
reactions are fucking hilarious.
5 hours ago.
Right?
All right, here we go.
He stays covering up that head, man. Anything
yeah.
he
Let's
can
put on
do.
the little react cam.
Here's what I see, right? He says in this apology, right? I'm sorry for being a hater because I was crapping on you last night, but I noticed in the chat as I was crapping on you that everyone was in my chat saying Phil is king, Phil is king. Everyone was being positive towards you. And I recognized that. And it
like
took
what
me
happened
time
with
to think
Tommy.
about it, but now I've kind of admit I'm being hypocritical and a hater because I myself make content.
Okay, so far, a little twisted, but okay. It's so far okay from Phil.
That's supposed to be redemption
Also,
arc
real quick. So during this stream beforehand, he actually replayed where he shit on DSP while he was watching the Review Tech USA documentary that he was watching, and he thought that everyone was trolling him in the live chats, basically just making him feel like an asshole or whatever, just like fucking with him and everything.
Who?
So I don't the people watching, Keem, the people watching were saying that shit because, you know, Kino Casino brought back not Kino, but like the whole the stratosphere around is that he's a king and all this other shit. As you can see, he has a king streak now and his fucking donation counter or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So the king moniker is kind of coming back a little bit. And if we remember, that is kind of what got Phil in trouble, particularly the king of hate, because when he would get sponsorships back in the day, people would like email his sponsors saying that he's like racist, and he said like the like the anti-Jewish shit that he did and the anti-Asian community, like making fun of the accents that
trolls.
he did. Exactly, yeah.
So essentially, we're potentially watching the rise of a fall. You know, a rise.
Basically, yeah.
All right.
So continue.
Well, it's a redemption arc for him. I mean, it happened long before freaking Boogie and Wings, that's for sure. Kino picked him up and started trying to get him across the finish line before Keem could do it for the others.
Oh yeah,
It's a race to try and get a lol cow to just be a regular lol.
For Boogie and Wings, and for me to then say that it's happening to you is bullshit and you're still going to be a loser and on level 1 is very hypocritical because it's going against what I'm doing, right? So for that he apologized, right?
Which is fair.
But when he apologized, you got to listen to the context. Number one, he basically said in his apology, he does still think I'm a loser. Like, did you hear that?
I mean, I do think you're a loser.
This is where I laugh. This is where
And
I
I
laugh.
don't think you're going to grasp this opportunity that Kino Casino has given you. I don't think you're going to take advantage of it and do good for yourself. I don't
Probably
think you're
not.
going to change but I would be like a hater to hope that. And in the original,
what he's trying to say is that I think you're a loser and all that, but I'm not actively like hoping for your downfall. Like if you make it, you make it. I think you're corny. I think you're a loser. But like, hey, if people like you, then people like you. That's all he's saying.
This is the point I was trying to make is, he's trying to be sincere, but he's still talking shit at the same time. And that's the best part about this whole entire thing.
Well, nobody likes a backhanded compliment.
No, not at all. But at the same time, I think Keemstar is kind of like, I may throw jabs at you, subtle jabs. I'm not just going to purely talk mid shit about you because DSP doesn't mean shit to Keemstar. But the fact that their worlds are colliding or will be colliding is kind of an interesting thing after all these years.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm just saying is that DSP's like, well, if you don't want me to fail, then obviously you have to like me. And it's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah, it's not black and white, bro.
It's like, yeah, you could still be seen as a loser, but people aren't actively hoping for your downfall. Like,
exactly.
I don't have to be your friend.
I felt like I was like projecting, right? I felt like I was like trying to push that on you. Like, Phil, you're going to be a loser. Mark my words. You're not going to succeed, right? I'd like to see you succeed. Honestly. I shouldn't be hoping that you fucking fail. I want you to do good. I have no reason, maybe from you, there's like this personal thing, but for me, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
It's the internet.
I think it would be wildly entertaining for you to, after all these years, find success, right?
Yeah,
and be massively popular online and be doing
after
very
16
well.
years.
But the only way that could happen is you would have to change.
Which isn't going to happen. It's DSP. Like, come on.
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's the comical part about all of this.
Yeah, and Keem's actually right. He has a great opportunity. Like, I'll even use the word rebrand himself. You know what I mean? But the problem is the King moniker is coming back.
Yep.
So
King is self-sabotage.
Exactly.
I kind of understand what Keem is trying to say. Like, he can not really like somebody, but he can't. It doesn't bother him. It's not that deep to where like he doesn't want to see their success. I mean, like,
well, he's saying that he's
we come from the Local Live Discord, so there's other people that are doing their own projects and stuff like that. And like, I don't wish for their projects to not succeed.
No, not at all. We should all succeed. Everyone should succeed.
I get what he's saying here. He's like, you know what, DSP, like, I may not like you. I may think you're a loser, but I still don't want you to fail. I still want you to make money like I do.
Well,
like,
he's also saying that it's hypocritical of him to not like him, or not to not like him, but to want that for him, because he's trying to do. He can't, on one hand, preach be like bettering yourself and that like to Wings and to Boogie and say, hey, you can redeem yourself, but on the other hand, not give DSP the chance to do it either. Sometimes you have to give somebody the rope to hang themselves with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
at the end of the day, we all just trying to get a bag.
Well,
facts, bro.
Yeah, there's that too, I guess. Yeah.
In order for that to happen, it couldn't just be a joke. You'd also have to adapt to the current situation of online entertainment. You'd have to be very honest with your audience. I think that's like your number one flaw, is that you're dishonest with them and you manipulate them and you bag. Like, so a lot of changes would have to happen for you to have this wild success. And let's say you're pulling like 10,000 concurrent viewers every stream. Like, that would be awesome. That would be really, really entertaining.
It's interesting how he's saying 10,000 concurrent viewers per stream when we don't even get that anymore on Local Live.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, King got it.
He definitely tried.
King got it in his heyday, don't get me wrong. But, it's kind of at the point now where it's like, Local Live settling for 5,000 to 7,000 concurrent viewers.
Well, and it was it was only like 4 to 5 before the whole Boogie thing.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, DSP at this time, he'll never get 10,000. I don't give a fuck what he does at this point in his life. He's just not.
Yeah, he would have to be incredibly like entertaining, especially with it just being him. You know,
Exactly.
he's not like Medica or something.
He needs to rebrand.
Well, yeah, but even if you rebrand, you still have to change who you are as a person, who you are as an entertainer. You know, you're supposed to continue to develop and continue to hone the whatever it is that you're making. Like your first, not to try and sound like some veteran or pretend to be one, but like your first video isn't supposed to, or your next video is always supposed to be better than your last one. You know,
oh yeah,
it's the same thing with like any job you do or any task you do. You always want to do better than the last time. And
well,
DSP has just been steady.
Thing is, though, just playing video games and, you know, raging and all that and being subpar at RPGs is not going to be a winning formula for change. It's just not.
I mean, that's not going to help me get successful on YouTube? Shit.
No.
I know, right?
Damn it.
It's doing collaborations and it's, you know, doing shit with other YouTubers and, you know, combining forces, so to speak. That's going to help propel you to introduce you to other audiences to try and get a different fan base to come follow you. DSP is not outside of Kino Casino and what's happened with him now. He's been blatantly against doing any of that. And then doing the interview with side scrollers left a bad taste in his mouth because of the aftermath of it.
Well, he's also just not somebody who's going to go ahead and change either. Like he found a short formula and he's just stuck with it. So he's just playing it safe. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's everyone, right? But that can't just happen off of a meme. You'd have to change yourself, bud. You'd have to change yourself.
Basically said in his apology, well, I do still think you're going to fail, but just because I think you're still going to fail doesn't mean that I should be a hater. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
So he's apologizing for basically crapping on me publicly.
Honesty is honesty, bro.
But he literally just kind of pocket sneaked this there and said, well, I still am going to hate you and think you're a jerk and you're always going to fail anyway.
No, it's not hating. I'm like predicting the future. Like, I don't think you're going to take advantage of this opportunity. I don't.
He's not.
But that's not hate. I'm not hating on you. Hating on you was saying, you're not going to take advantage of this opportunity. You're always going to be a loser. You're still fucking loser. That's hating. Me saying, I don't think you're going to change. I don't think you're going to grasp this opportunity and do well. That is not hating. That's just me doubting you.
He's making an assumption, which I think a lot of people have the ability to do that because it's like, again, DSP is always self-sabotaged. He's never like moved forward. Anytime there's like a new trend or a new hype or something like that, he's never gone for it.
It's not like there's not a pattern for it.
Yeah, like DSP's not the type of person to make the big plays.
Dare I say, Keem's making a hypothesis, which is an educated guess.
A theory, perhaps.
Possibly. A game theory, if you will.
Yeah. God damn it, I was
gonna... Doubting that you're gonna take advantage of this opportunity. That's it.
Anyway, right? So has his opinion actually changed towards me? No, absolutely not. It's just he's apologizing for publicly attacking me in that way.
Which is still
to be fair,
you didn't go on
I'm apologizing for shitting on your moment. Like, you're having a moment right now, buddy. You're having like people spam like DSP is king, and I'm being a piece of shit by shitting on your moment. I don't think I should do that, and I feel like I owe you an apology. That's what I mean by it.
It is still an apology, though. And that's something different. That's something big, no? To actually get an apology out of Keemstar. I mean, how many people have actually gotten an apology like that out of Keemstar? Probably not many. Probably he has over the years, I'm sure. But a guy like him, so egotistical and everything, to actually, like, apologize like that, right, is something different. You know, it's kind of weird. It's weird to hear that. We'd even be talking about that, this morning.
He makes a fair point as well. Like, look, anybody who's been doing this, like a lot of the time, especially with like DSP type people or Keemstar type people, they always think that the amount of time that they've spent on the platform gives them some sort of leverage to be correct.
Yeah, that's true. He's right.
It's like you both can be wrong. Like, yep. I mean, DSP's out here thinking that Keemstar's apology isn't genuine because Keemstar is not turning around and saying that they're friends now. And Keemstar is over here saying that he thinks the guy's going to fail. And that's fair. Like, he's entitled to feeling that way.
Yeah.
Everybody's entitled to their opinions.
Yeah, fucking crybabies, man. God damn. I guess, you know, friggin' DSP's over here like, well, you're not licking the boots, so we're not actually friends.
Well, DSP doesn't have a boogie to lick his boots. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Right?
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe he could rent him from Keemstar.
Isn't Kino Casino like hyping him up, gassing him up? But wouldn't that be kind of the equivalent?
Nah, not really. Thing, it's not the same. Yeah.
Kino is using DSP. DSP just doesn't see it. And
yeah, so they're more like the wranglers.
It's more like DSP is Boogie and Kino is Keem.
Because Boogie's willing to do a lot of self-deprecating stuff. DSP won't. It's more so like fair. Kino seizing upon DSP's haters the same way Keem seized upon Wings and Boogie's haters. That's more so what it is.
The only person DSP has to lick his boot is Darish, and we're not going to get into that.
I don't even know that, but sure.
It's kind of weird.
A lot. Continuing on, right? So, him apologizing or crabbing on me on his stream, all right, fair enough. And listen, here's the thing. He has the right to have any opinion on me he wants, okay? He does. I can't change someone's opinion. That's on someone else to change their opinion. Many of you had really bad negative opinions about me for how many years? Right? And now all of a sudden, many of you have come by and genuinely started checking out my content. You realize that you like it, and now you're enjoying the ride, right?
We're going a little too far there, DSP.
Phil.
Just stay here.
They're doing a meme.
Yeah.
They're doing a meme because you being seen as king, right? And you being seen as a success is fucking hilarious and entertaining, right? But it's not people are going over there and they're like, damn, I really like the way he's doing this Let's Play. I'm a supporter now. Like that's not it, buddy. I'm sorry. That is not it. However,
bro, it's not it at all.
You could take this troll meme of you being king and you could capitalize on it. And you could be successful, right? It's possible. But I just don't think you're capable of doing that.
It has to be self-aware for that.
You know, maybe in time.
Well, then delusional side Phil over here.
With Keem, right? Maybe what it is he thinks that I'm just going to, within, a month, I'm just going to flub it all, and I'll be right back to where I started. And you know what?
Yep.
That's the assumption,
I do think that.
But
I do think, like, 90 days from now, we're going to look at DSP and his numbers are going to be about the same. He's going to have the same amount of supporters, and he's not going to be this wild success, right? I do think in about 90 days, this little joke and this little meme dies out, and I don't see you getting there, bud.
Yeah.
But you could just because my opinion is that you're not going to be able to capitalize on this and adapt and be successful in online entertainment. In gaming entertainment, like you're doing, doesn't mean that you can't.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. Eventually, the internet's going to get bored of this joke and want to move on, and troll somebody else. And again, delusional side Phil over here thinking that people are actually like, oh God, he's actually entertaining. Like, no, that's not the thing.
Well, the other thing, too, is DSP trolls are going to remind him of what the King moniker did for him and how much he lost because of it. So I don't see this whole King thing lasting long.
Yeah.
And people are just trolling him with it.
Again, yeah, he has to learn to adapt to it, and he has to be self-aware enough to know that it's a joke, play into the joke, and like try to, come out of it on top.
Well, this is the first time DSP's ego has been super inflated in a very long time. So he has blinders on like a motherfucker. That's my own opinion.
Probably. Well, so that's the other thing that I was going to say is like, you got to think like if I was DSP, I'd be thinking like Kino Casino's trying to come up. They could just be using him as a freaking launch pad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, exactly. But who knows what their conversations like were behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I just think they were able to like, smooth him enough and talk enough business with him to make it sound like a good opportunity, which in the background they're capitalizing on it as well.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Based on everything I know about you, I don't think you're going to be able to capitalize on this moment.
What? I kind of feel like that too. I've already told you guys here on this very podcast that I feel like success is fleeting, that I've been to this level already. I've been above the level I'm at right now before in the past. I used to be one of the most prominent gaming YouTubers. I used to get 10 million views a month on YouTube, and that's not an exaggeration. That's what this channel was bringing in at its height of popularity.
Very long time ago.
At the top of the search algorithm.
Yep.
Everyone cared about my opinion on games and other topics. I was big shit. Today I'm this little rinky-dink dude, right? A little tiny guy. I'm just lucky to still have pertinence and have a following and a core audience that supported me all along. That's why I'm still here. But the fact that, this guy for so long has had this negative opinion on me, and now at very least realizes, well, maybe I just shouldn't be publicly talking about that opinion because it is bad with his redemption going on right now. I'm doing redemption art content, so it doesn't really make sense. That's at least something, right? That's an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
It's a positive acknowledgement in one way.
Yeah, I was being a hater. And I shouldn't hate on your moment. Like, I genuinely feel that way.
DSP says a lot of fucking words to say like a single sentence, man. Jesus Christ. Like he just is word soup.
I feel like we've said the same thing for like the last 10 minutes. Like, I feel like we all understand what they're both trying to say to each other.
Like, this is insane, man. DSP is like, oh my God. Anyways, so he ends up actually responding to Keem's freaking live stream that night.
Hold on. Ken, was there anything else to that part? I don't want to be rude and,
was there anything else on that, or was it more of the same?
So skip to like an hour and 5 minutes.
Hour and 5 minutes, okay.
Hour and 5 minutes, okay.
$50,000, and I will come on your show for 2 hours and we will talk about whatever. I mean, don't expect me to be doing any kind of crazy
back
shit.
Like 10 more seconds. Like, kick it back. Like, just there's a little bit of context to that.
Yeah.
As we started, and I'm like, fuck, I'm like a little drunk. Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this stream? Like, I shouldn't have done this. Like, this was an impulse thing. I had so much regrets from doing this stream. I'm so glad I did this stream just for this fucking moment right here. Like, Phil is literally asking for $50,000 to appear on Lol Call Live. Like,
hell yeah, bro.
That is
get
so
the bag.
Get that bag.
Hell yeah.
Bro, that is so insane.
He rubbed his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
the money sign
so
Phil.
Bad. Why are you doing this?
It would have made it if he fucking took
obviously, we're not going to pay you $50,000 to show up for 2 hours, bro.
Rub the gnome.
It ain't that serious. Like,
that dude values himself so high.
He really does.
Shit.
$25,000 an hour. That's crazy.
I desperately need it. Thank you, baby.
Wild.
I wouldn't pay him $25 an hour.
What just happened?
I think she fell.
Jesus.
That's what it sounded like. She's probably drunk too.
And I will appear on his show. Now I'm actually making a real public offer that's actually, not bullshit. All right? $50,000. And I will come on your show for 2 hours and we will talk about whatever. I mean, don't expect me to be doing any kind of crazy shit. But since you're so desperate to have the king on your show, I mean,
oh God, come on,
there it is.
Come on.
Dude,
come on, buddy.
Delusional.
We're not desperate. Local live.
Inflated.
The king, bro. It's
I'm telling you, bro.
When you said they've been gassing him up, boy, he
I told
is
you, bro. I told you.
He is gassed.
Well, that's because
he says with that.
Well, here's the thing, though. You have to remember, he's in his domain. He's in the United States of Phil right now, where Phil is the supreme leader. Phil makes all the rules.
He is in the right position to be acting this way because he is the hot commodity. Like, he knows that people are going to fight over, like...
His shit ain't stinking right now, bro.
Well, he knows people are going to fight over trying to jump on the I always knew Phil was cool arc. So, like, he's going to try and capitalize on it the best he can.
Isn't it sad we're here right now that DSP is cool? Isn't that kind of sad?
Well, he's not cool yet.
Right now,
he's not cool yet. He's just
I'm in his own head. Head right now.
Well, he's always thought he was freaking cool, man. He's always thought he was like the top.
Yeah.
Now
gamer. It's a whole nother level. He's talking pure shit to Keemstar, like, and it's not just inflated ego; it is externally inflated ego.
Listen, this guy, Darkside Phil, I do know a little bit about him. I know about his origin. His origin is literally recording Dead Space with a camera behind his TV.
Mm-hmm.
When a game card was a thing and he had enough money to buy a game card because he was a pioneer. I can't lie and say he wasn't a pioneer. He was.
In the early days, he was.
He inspired Wings of Redemption to go out and buy a game card to do what he does.
He never adapted. That's the thing.
Yep.
Exactly. For years after the fact that game cards were a thing and everybody else was moving on, he stayed stuck in this like idea of, if it's over my shoulder and I'm just recording the screen, this is fine. So he
never wanted to do innovation. He never wanted to go ahead and be. Yeah, he never wanted to.
He wanted to put the littlest effort and the littlest technology out there to make a product and get the maximized profits, because he thought that he was on the same level as everybody else, even though they were adapting.
Yep. Yeah, he got lost to the times, that's for sure.
Yep.
DSP has been a absolute wild success. The channel just hit like 70K subs or something like that. We have well over 2,200 members on the show. You have 600, like on your personal thing. You don't have poll. You don't really have the clout.
Listen,
I think your value for one appearance, if we were to pay, and we're not going to pay anything, like we're not, right? But if we were to pay, I think your value is probably around, let me be generous, about $1,500. Like, I'm trying to think of like how much more money would come in? How many more views would be on our show if we had Darkside Phil? Now, don't get me wrong. All right. It would be a moment. Like, people would tune in for it. They'd be excited to see what happens. But what is that value? It's around $1,500. Maybe $2,000.
He's basically talking. He's basically talking about a door fee at like a club. Like if you're gonna go see a band, then the entry fee is pretty much estimates how much that band is worth. So if it's like a $35 entry fee, then the band is only worth about $10 to $15, because the club still has to make its top, its bottom dollar. That's what he's saying. And DSP only pulls like 300 to 500 viewers a stream. So.
And what's the percentage of trolls watching that?
Yeah, and Keem's also calculating the people who would come in. Like Blow Blacks would probably want to watch. Like DSP detractors, Duty Streams would definitely want to watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he's factoring those groups as well.
He's factoring the clip channels. He's factoring the donations. He's factoring all that shit.
That's a very high and I would say that's probably a very high and generous offer from Keemstar on that aspect.
I mean, I said I'd pay $25. Like, there's no way.
Based off of his numbers alone, if there had to be an appearance fee, I'm thinking like $500 for 2 hours, and then that's $250, $250 an hour. Like, that's at most what I would be if I was in Keemstar's position, willing to pull, considering his numbers alone.
What I would do if I was Keemstar is I would look at his last year, whatever stream made the most money, and double it. That's all I would do.
There you go. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, I mean, what I would have done is I would have looked at what his daily stream income was, and I'd probably do about that.
Well, normally he makes the most money during his birthday stream. I'm just being honest. Usually pull like $600-700.
He's just not a hot commodity. Like he's
he's not. But I'm saying as far as the counter offer goes,
right? No, I get what you're saying. It's just the thing is that he's only going to be, the more eyes that are going to be on him is if he's on other people's stuff, not doing his own thing. That's really what it is. So he needs Keemstar more than Keemstar needs him, or he needs other people more than they need him, because it's his name that needs to get out there. If he just sits there doing his own thing, then he doesn't like reach other. He doesn't reach other like fan bases.
No, not at all.
I wouldn't pay that anyways. I've never paid for a guest. You know what I mean? I just want to do that.
He paid for the shaman.
You know,
he corrects himself.
Phil, I think
later
because you've been a YouTuber for such a long time, is that there's a certain part of this, right, where you don't want to adapt, right? Where you don't want to change. You don't want to look around and see all these companies running everything. And unfortunately, that's what's happened on YouTube. It's real business oriented.
Yep.
There's multi-billion-dollar companies with like fucking 100 employees that run multiple different fucking channels. People are in studios instead of camming up in their bedroom, right? And a lot of it is just kind of the bullshit of what TV was and why people didn't want anything to do with TV anymore, and they gravitated towards internet stuff.
Very business.
But yeah, paying for guests, no. I'm not going to pay for a guest for any one of my podcasts that I ever do. I'm not going to.
I get what he's saying. I mean, it kind of, you don't want there to be an incentive for the person to come on and be a character or be something else. And then on top of it too, it's just like, nah, bro, I'm not paying you like in general.
Money changes the game. All these people, I mean, Wings and Boogie have gone out on a limb, or gone out on the show multiple times and said, you know, we try to get guests and they don't want to come on here for a variety of different reasons. And that, all those people then before, it would be so shitty for them to never be offered cash to come on, and they still said no. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, Keemstar's offering Dark Side Phil to come on and pay money for it.
I mean, it just in general, like, it doesn't make sense to pay somebody to come on for an appearance fee. Not in the world of YouTube. I mean, I could understand if it was more like, say, like if you were paying like a legit celebrity or something, you know.
Yeah.
Or somebody who was like multi-millions. But even then, it's like, typically if you're a multi-million sub channel, you're going to go in on a guest appearance for another multi-million sub channel. So like, why are they going to pay you? You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like,
no, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, well, is that pretty much everything from Keem's stream?
Basically, I mean, at this point, he just keeps on saying that, and then he makes the counter offer to like go on the Level 1 podcast, and then Keem basically DMs him live on stream. That's really all it is.
Oh, I saw the clips for the failed DMing and failed spellings.
Yeah, it was atrocious. Dude, he was asking chat how to spell words. It was hilarious. Yeah. But basically, this is DSP's reaction today on his Level 1 podcast. So this is basically what Phil said is what's going to happen. So, and then in Phil speak. So we'll go ahead and play it.
Okay.
But one of those very special events that is going to be incredibly notable in history. Okay? This coming Wednesday, on this very show, I will have Keemstar as a guest. He will actually be my very first guest I've ever had on the level.
Just real quick, he equated this to when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock at the Oscars. He equated this moment to that moment.
He totally said, not.
He said, you know how like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, something like that's going to happen. And then this is when he said this. So yeah, this is what he thinks of himself.
Yeah,
I'm just putting that out there.
Nice.
Yeah, he thinks a little too much, dude. Look at him in his Hawaiian shirt and those pasty ass dad arms, bro.
I'm telling you, bro.
And he's got the gamer glasses on too. Oh,
well, no, that's because he hit his donation goal of $50 for the glasses. Keep that in mind.
On podcast. Now, if that's not an interesting starter guest, I don't know what is.
I mean, it is.
The way it's going to work.
Right.
Is I'm going to start the podcast a little early. I'm going to start it around 11 a.m. and I'm going to get technical issues worked out live with you guys because this has to go down via Discord. So I have to make sure that Discord is coming through well in my setup. If you remember when I did this a couple weeks ago when we were doing the live Rich React, we had technical issues. So I need to like mess with this a bit. And we'll have like half an hour to stick around with each other and work this out before King arrives to get it all working. Okay? And so, Keem will arrive around 11:30 a.m. and it'll be about roughly an hour to an hour and a half conversation. This is not going to be an interrogation. This is not going to be a shooting gallery, a firing squad.
So.
This is not going to be toxic.
You don't know Keem.
Yeah, like I do wonder what they're gonna talk about, like the past, I guess. Like,
he has some really interesting expectations of Keemstar. Have you ever seen what happened? Like, just Keemstar going on shows like Blowback's his stream. He pops in places, he blows it up, and then he leaves. That's just what he does. That's just shit he does.
Oh yeah, 100%. And Keem is the king.
He also spurgs out too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He spurgs.
Yeah, he does. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But here's the thing, though. Phil's in his space. So you know that fucking head is going to be as big as that fucking room. So, he's only going to put up with so much shit. And he's getting all the donations. He's getting the views. Because his views are going to skyrocket, let's be honest, compared to what they are now. A lot of people are going to be watching this. I'm going to be one of them watching this.
Live people are going to watch it too, because now they're hyping it up. He's hyping it up. Like, that's why the appearance fee is dumb. The appearance fee is dumb because whether or not he likes it or not, Lockout Live, if he were to go on Lockout Live, he would have a net positive.
He would
reaction just by going on.
Here, real quick point. The other thing we missed from the last one is Phil said, and I quote, "You have to reduce yourself to come down to level 1 to the king's court." He literally said that.
Fair enough.
So that's, like I said, just keep that all in mind with what Phil is about to say. So continue.
So Keemstar is trying to humble himself here.
The first ever time that the two of us get to sit down and have a man-to-man, respectful conversation. I do have questions for the man. I do. I have things I want to ask him about himself, his history, the way he conducts himself, the way he does business, the way he's treated me. And I'm sure he's going to have questions for me. But we have sat down and agreed.
Pause it. What if he's going to be the host and this is all some fucking ploy that they're cooking up?
God.
What if the hour and a half conversation is going to be about that shit? They quote unquote squash their beef, come to terms professionally, and the show happens with DSP on the show.
That would be smart, but that a lot of people would absolutely turn around and say that it's all scripted then. And
100%.
Well, I'm not playing
I'm
to the
sorry,
narrative.
I can't.
The original narrative, bro.
The guy who was originally supposed to be the host, suddenly, like, Tommy leaves. The guy who originally was supposed to be a host comes on.
He's
never gonna lose. He's never gonna leave these fucking allegations, bro.
But keep in mind, Keem also saves $150,000 from the initial investment. He just had to wait a year.
Well, it's going to be content for everybody, that's for sure.
That's what. No, I'm just saying his initial investment that he said he was going to put
I hear what you're saying.
out.
I'm saying is that it's going to be content for everybody. All the commentary channels that have been following it. I mean, I highly doubt it because then he, like DSP, would make an enemy of Kino Casino.
That's what I was going to say. Kino Casino is going to have to eat some shit for that one.
I mean, they might, but look at the money Phil's going to make compared to what he's making right now.
I don't see him capitalizing like that. I don't see Phil being that guy.
Just throwing it out there, bro. I'm just throwing it out there.
It's a possibility, yeah. But I don't see him wanting to go to war with Kino Casino or like making an enemy out of them.
Yeah.
I was excited to watch Lockout Live, even if DSP was going to be on it. So I mean, like, if that becomes a thing, I'm not going to immediately be like, oh fuck DSP. Like, I'll give it a try. I just don't
like everybody else, bro.
I just don't know what he would bring to Lockout Live realistically, but that's just me.
I don't see him bringing anything. I'm going to be honest. I don't, because now it's the IRL make them do stuff stream, and I don't see DSP doing that.
Nope.
But this is their way of moving forward away from it, though.
Maybe
we'll see.
Very public but respectful manner. I think it's the best for everyone, especially now that this turnaround is happening for me. And in the public's eye and spectacle, things are getting better and more positive. Now is the time to do things like this, right? Because I don't want to be someone who just has constant like aggression to everyone on the internet. You know, a lot of people don't like me for really dumb reasons. But it's funny because when I actually sit down with them, like Kino Casino, all of a sudden they're like, well, this guy's actually, you know, kind of normal and cool. And it's very possible that this could be, you know, this
almost
step
like you're a
towards
lolcow.
A little bit.
things happening that are more sane. Let's put it that way. Instead of just constant drama, chaos, nonsense, and toxicity, I would like to try to make step towards sanity on the internet, especially when it comes to me and my presence and my community. Because you guys have to understand something, okay? The toxicity that gets thrown my way isn't just affecting me. It affects my entire viewership and community.
Bro, you a grown ass man. You a grown ass man, dude.
Handle it, bro. Handle your business.
Oh my god, bro. This man out here saying we are the world. This man is he's like the type of he's like the weird freaking like day shift that's like we're a family and shit like that. Like, nah, bro, get out of here. We just work together.
That's it, dude. It almost reminds me of the teacher from Beavis and Butthead, Mr. Van Driesen, who was just, you know, like tree hugging hippie, everybody get along and all that shit. That's the vibes I'm getting right now.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens between Keemstar and DSP. Like, I don't really see like what they're really gonna talk about. Like, I see if they like try and talk about their old beef and stuff like that, it's just gonna be like, I'm not wrong, you're wrong. I'm not wrong, you're wrong. So
it's not gonna be an hour and a half of content though, you know. So again, like you said, I'm interested in what they actually have to say to each other.
Yeah.
What's the most important talking point?
Well, I wonder, like, he's probably gonna the biggest thing is that they're gonna probably argue over whether or not DSP is gonna capitalize on his little 15 minutes of rebirth here.
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna, you know, Keemstar's gonna be like, what exactly are you gonna do? And DSP is gonna probably turn around and say, what does it matter? Or say like, I don't have to tell you, or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll be interesting because imagine Kino Casino versus Lolcow Live. If DSP goes on Kino Casino, that's 3 hosts. Lolcow Live has 3 hosts. Might get some podcast wars. Who knows?
Hey,
that would be interesting.
When the after show comes in with the steel chair.
That's it, bro. We got 3 hosts.
Oh my god, no!
Let's go.
Well, this is interesting. Why don't you guys let us know what you think is going to happen down below? I don't think there's a whole lot more left of DSP's response here, is there?
I mean, not really. He just kind of goes down like what he thinks is going to happen and like the shit that happened in the past and all that. Okay. So, like I said, I just want to do a video on it because no one ever thought this was going to happen. Let's just be honest.
Oh, yeah, no, I get you.
The fact DSP responded today, and I think this is going to be it. So Wednesday, 2:30 Eastern time. That's going to be 11:30 Pacific time. Make sure y'all tune in and check it out. I know I will be.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting watch.
A lot of people from here are from Lolcow Live. This is not, as they said, going to be on Lolcow Live. It's going to be on DSP's channel on the Level 1 podcast.
Yeah, he's going to make all the money.
Below Keem Responds, that's going to be DSP Gaming.
Yep. All right, well, have a good one, y'all.
Cool. Take care.